Alrighty. Finally gonna finish up spraying corn today. All I got left is this right here. As you can tell, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly where I had to stop spraying last weekend. I'm gonna have to figure this out. But anyhow, I got most everything. Well, I did a bunch of spraying last night, got caught up. So all I got left to do is whatever, like 4 acres, whatever I got left here, get the sprayer emptied out, and then I got a load of urea sitting at the house, go home, switch tractors, start spreading urea. You're gonna get a kick out of it when I go to get the spreader. It's gonna be interesting. But you can tell where I got frostbit because my population turns to shit. Some of it came out, but some of it didn't. But such is life. Oh well. But anyhow, yeah, get done spraying down here, go home, grab the 1800, get that hooked up to the spreader. I got enough in the spreader to spread everything except down here, because with the rain we had, I thought this was going to be a lot wetter, but it's already dusty. So I probably could have spread down here, but I'm glad I didn't get a full load in the spreader, and you'll see why. Yeah, it's going to be, it's interesting. You'll see. But let's get this spreading done first, or spraying done first. Came out damn near perfect. I had just enough in the tank. I sprayed everything that I had left over there, and I had a little bit left, so I called the neighbor here to see if they minded if I hung over a little bit, because I was hoping I had enough to burn this patch of weeds up between our fields. Well, I made it like 20-25 yards behind the telephone pole from the back and ran out, so the front's not done, but I told them, so they're probably gonna hang over and get the front part. And you can see all the spots that didn't come back after the frost. There's this spot right here, and then you can see that light spot right there, and then behind it there's another light spot. That's all frost damage. And to tell you the difference it made, if you step right on the property line, I don't know how it ended up this way, but this side of the telephone pole is like 4 to 6 inches higher than here. That's the difference it took. They didn't get any frost damage on this side of the line. I got frost damage over here. It was that little teeny tiny deviation in ground contour that made the difference. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And judging by the fact that I got another freaking crop of ragweed coming in already, I'm guessing that we're probably going to be into a respray down here in a couple weeks, which is fine because with that Halex I get free respray. Muck, I tell you what, it's an entirely different ball game. But anyway, run this home, go grab the 1800 and a spreader, show you guys the shit show I got going on there, get some urea spread, and then I gotta go into town and get some tank cleaner solution so I can clean the sprayer out and get it switched over to beans. And I probably ought to run to Napa and get the hoses for my grain truck if they're in. So yeah, on to the next project. All right, so here we are hooked up to the spreader, and I told you we had a shit show going on. So swung by co-op yesterday because Helena unfortunately does not have any spreaders that'll straddle 30-inch rows, so I got to get my urea from Co-Alliance. For the time being, this is getting to be old. But they had 3 narrow tracks because they got narrow track spreaders and wide track spreaders, and obviously I need a narrow track because I need to straddle 30s. So they had 3 narrow track spreaders sitting there. The first one I back up to didn't look bad until I went to hook it up, and this front cross member had a chunk rusted out of it about yay wide all the way across in a horseshoe, so the front of the box was no longer attached to the main frame. So I said screw that, and I looked at the 2 next to it, and the one next to this one had cord showing on all 4 tires, which, knowing what I know now, I'd have taken my chances with cord showing on 4 tires. So I looked at this one and it's like, that didn't look that bad. Hooked up to it, loaded up, got home, got here to unhook it, smelled hot rubber. Like, what the hell? So I get to looking at it in this front tire. I leaned on it like this, and I couldn't, it was so hot I could barely have my hand on it. Now notice these ribs have been scrubbing. So I get to looking under here, and I see that equalizer in there in between the axles was all screwed up. And then I look back there, and it's like, oh, that leaf spring is broke. Big time. So I called back over there to Co-op and tell them, hey, this is what I got going on. So they sent a guy over to look at it, and at first he can't see what's going on. He says, oh, that tire was just getting hot because of the sun. Do what to who? Are you fucking blind? So I explained to him, walk around the back right hand side of the spreader, look at the spring. And he's finally like, oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Like, it broke, like, gone. Like, this is supposed to be down here. So he said, well, I'd really like to have it empty before we start to work on it. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, okay, I'll get it empty, but if the axle falls off this son of a bitch while I'm going down the road, I'm gonna pull the pin and leave it, and it's your problem. So this is gonna be interesting to say the least. But I'm gonna start down here and start here, and then I got a field close here up north of town, and then I got one down here, and then I got to go to Indiana because I want to have it as light as I can to go to Indiana. And then there's 2 fields that I'll have to spread tomorrow because the guys, it's my Seventh-day Adventist field. He doesn't want me out there, so I'm going to get that spread tomorrow. And those 2 fields are on the way to Co-op. And I get it empty, I'm going to go over there and drop it in front of their shop, and it's their problem. And unfortunately, I still need a spreader because I still got to get another 2,400 pounds to go down and spread the muck. But anyway, we got to focus on the shit show we got going on today first. So I have to run back down to the barn real quick, and I have 3 bags of fertilizer that I cleaned out of the planter that I'm going to throw in here. And we're going to go down there and start spreading. And then, like I say, hopefully we get everything spread today that I want to get spread today. And then I got to go get some tank cleaner for the sprayer because, as you can see, beans are getting pretty ugly. It was not that bad until we got our 3 shots of rain this week, and then that rain really made them weeds wake up. So I wish it'd make the beans wake up, because beans across the board are all over around here are just looking terrible. I don't have very high hopes for beans this year. Corn looking pretty good. Beans, yeah, I think it's gonna be the opposite of last year. I think this year we're gonna have some decent corn and meh beans, where last year we had pretty damn good beans and not much for corn. Oh, I'm not looking forward to using this piece of shit. But what else can you do? So, I guess we'll see what we can break. He said, well, just take it easy. I'm like, how the fuck do you take it easy on a fertilizer spreader bouncing through the field? So far it's holding together. Still sketching me out, but it's holding together. It's really fun engaging the chain because the arm hits the leaf spring, because it's all whopper jawed, and you gotta get in there and pull shit over when you with your hand and try not to get pinched. And good times. Normally I prefer spreading with a wide front because you knock less corn over when you turn. But in another Co-Alliance Bumble, I called a week and a half ago to get fuel because we only had a little or a little less tank of gas left. And here we are a week and a half later, and now they're telling me it's gonna be Monday before they come fill the tanks. And I just put the last of the gas in my 66 this morning to spray. So I can't use the 1600 because it's about out of fuel, and I can't use the 1950T, which is what I normally use for this because it's got a blown head gasket. So the 1800 wins. But anyway, now that we're a little lighter, on to the next one. Well, I tell you what, I'm officially sold on that Halex. This is the field that I got blown out of last Sunday and couldn't finish. I basically made it about, well, it's probably hard to tell on camera. That patch of trees right there is a spring that bubbles up out of the ground. I got a farm around. And I made it to down back. I made it one round past those trees. So basically this whole section from those trees over, I had to come back and pick back up later. Well, I came over here Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, Wednesday afternoon, because it was before I went to that auction. I came over here, sprayed this, got done, and as I was folding the booms up, the sky cut loose, even though the weather channel said it was not supposed to rain. And we got a tenth of an inch in about 5 minutes, because it rained long enough for me to leave here and drive back to the house, and it's only about 2 miles from the house. So it had like 5 minutes to dry on the plant's tops. Everything's dead or wilting already, and that's after it got poured on. So I'm officially impressed. But I got one more field left to do today, so gonna drive clear down to Indiana to do it. Hopefully the spreader holds together. Well, this is the last fucking time I say hope the spreader holds together, because she blew a fucking tire about 5 miles from home, naturally. So Dad's bringing a jack and a chain so we can get the axle up to the frame and take the tire off and go from there. Well, we got the tire off and the axle chained up. And funny thing, with the axle chained up, the axles actually track better. They're not all pulled towards each other on this side anymore. I could actually engage the lever and not have to reach down there and pull it over to get it past the spring. But the worst part of it is, obviously, the spreaders, they unload from the, or they pull out of the front and unload the front first and then eventually empty the back out. So right now it's ass heavy and you got one tire on the ass. So it's gonna be interesting, but what the hell can you do? I had to keep spreading, and I was closer to the field than I was to home, so might as well get it lighter. I don't know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, but this is probably my last business dealing with Coal Alliance. Between the fuel debacle and this horse shit, they get me my fuel on Monday. That's gonna be the last fuel I buy from them. I'm calling a different fuel company Tuesday to get an account set up, and this will be the last time I buy fertilizer from them. This is fucking ridiculous. How can you be that unconcerned about a fucking... How did you even have it sitting in the user row to begin with a busted spring? Or that one with the busted, or with the rusted out cross member? How do you run a fucking business like that? This is retarded. But anyway, see if I can break it. All right, well, we're done with the old tripod for the day. Luckily, we had no other mishaps. I was gonna stop at that field that we ended up at there, but the sky started getting kind of dark, and it looks like we might actually get a little bit of rain tonight, hopefully. So I decided I'm gonna spread everything I could, even though, I mean, it sucked because the last field I got to do is only like a mile from here, so I'm gonna have to drive all the way back home and turn around and drive all the way back tomorrow. But at least it'll be spread, and if we get some rain tonight, that'll push it into the ground. So, and yeah, this field got kind of dirty, but I just sprayed it yesterday, so about 5 more days it won't look like this anymore. There's not really a whole lot of broadleaf in here. It's mostly damn grass, because before I started farming this, the guy tried to get some annual ryegrass out here as like a food plot type deal. He could never get it to take, never got it to take. Well, I started farming it, and ever since I farmed it, I've been fighting freaking annual ryegrass. Easy to kill, but it just keeps fucking coming back. So I think this field's gonna be on the list to get moldboarded again this fall. So I haven't moldboarded it since I started farming it, and that's been 7-8 years ago now. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna hurry on up and get home because just in case I don't want to get wet. The Weather Channel's still saying nothing, but that sure looks a lot like something. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually do get some rain tonight, push this stuff in the ground. I mean, a good heavy dew will do some good, which now that we're not, I mean, before we're just getting a bunch of dry heat. Now we finally got some humidity back in the air, as much as humidity sucks when it's this hot outside. Like for the last few weeks, we weren't even getting a dew. It just wasn't doing anything. It wasn't raining, wasn't dewing, wasn't nothing. And now there's actually moisture in the air, and we're getting some really heavy dews in the morning. So if nothing else, that'll help kind of start the process of getting that stuff down in the soil. So, but anyway, that's enough talking. I'm gonna get out of here. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.